Well, like everyone, I was completely shocked by Brianna's case. To have your child taken from you in such awful circumstances is almost impossible to come to terms with. And for Brianna's mum to talk with such empathy and compassion about that, I thought was inspiring, and it showed the very best of humanity. I have nothing but the most heartfelt sympathy for her entire family and friends. But to use that tragedy to detract from the very separate and clear point I was making about Keir Starmer's proven track record of multiple U-turns on major policies because he doesn't have a plan, I think is both sad and wrong, and it demonstrates the worst of politics.
The father has demanded an apology from you, so will you honour that?
If you look at what I said, I was very clear talking about Keir Starmer's proven track record of U-turns on major policies because he doesn't have a plan. A point only proven by today's reports that the Labour Party and Keir Starmer are apparently planning to reverse on their signature economic green spending policy. That just demonstrates the point I was making. He's someone who has just consistently changed his mind on a whole range of major things, and I think that is an absolutely legitimate thing to point out, and it demonstrates that he doesn't have a plan for the country.
I want to ask about your dental recovery plan announced yesterday. Under those plans, can you guarantee that everybody will now have access to an NHS dentist wherever they live?
Well, it hasn't been easy enough for people to access NHS dentistry over the past couple of years, particularly as a result of the impact of the pandemic, which hit dentistry services harder than almost anything else because they were the hardest things to continue in any form during COVID. The announcements this week will make a significant difference, and quickly. 2.5 million more NHS appointments to get levels back up to where they were pre-COVID, attracting dentists to work in underserved areas. This will be particularly valuable in areas like the Southwest, where I am today. Mobile vans going into underserved communities as well. Taken together, it's a very significant new investment in dentistry so that everyone can get the access that they need.
But is there no guarantee that everybody will benefit from this and get an NHS dentist appointment?
Well, we want to make it as easy as possible, and the new funding that we've announced will, I think, make a significant difference, and soon. This is going to be rolled out imminently, and 2.5 million more appointments to take us up to pre-COVID levels of NHS dentistry, I think, is a significant step, and it's part of a broader plan to bring down waiting lists across the NHS. Just the last week, we made it easier for families to go and see their pharmacists to get medicines for common ailments like ear infections or sore throats. That will make a huge difference, particularly for parents with young kids not having to go to the GP and get an appointment, just see their pharmacist. Things like that we're doing, as I said, all add up and all will just make sure everyone can get the health care that they need.
And finally, sorry, Prime Minister, you did allude to this, but Keir Starmer today is announcing that scrapping of the £28 billion Green Prosperity Plan. Why do you think he did that?
I've seen these reports. This is a serious moment. This was the flagship plank of Labour's economic policy, and it now looks like he's trying to wriggle out of it. I think it demonstrates exactly what I've been saying, that he U-turns on major things. He can't say what he would do differently because he doesn't have a plan. And if you don't have a plan, then you can't deliver change for our country. And in contrast, our plan is working. And people can see that. Inflation has come down, mortgage rates are starting to come down, and because economic conditions have improved, we've been able to start cutting people's taxes. Someone earning £35,000 receiving a tax cut of £450 that kicked in January, and that shows that if we stick with our plan, we will be able to give everyone peace of mind that there's a brighter future ahead and we can have a renewed sense of pride in our country. That's what I'm working to deliver. But this U-turn today just demonstrates the contrast. Labour don't have a plan. That means no change and just back to square one.